Alright, hello everyone, welcome back to another Slime Isekai Memories video. So today I have for you the Extreme 3 beatdown battle quest clearing, I guess, for the new RAMIRIS. I'm gonna say this stage is pretty tough. I know there's already Inferno 1, but I figured I'll do EX3 and then I'll do like the Infernos after. Because it is very late right now, and I feel like it would be easier to just separate them both. But anyway, so Extreme 3, don't mind the team at the moment. But yeah, Extreme 3, as you know, there are 3 enemies, and this stage is surprisingly really tough. Maybe it's just the way I played or the units I used. But even with the new trainee, I could not do it with her. No matter how much I did, I just couldn't get it to work. But let's just go over them really quickly. So the Shion, pretty much once you hit turn 5, both Rimuru and this Shion will do an AoE ult, and it will hit very hard. So you need to kill them before turn 5 actually goes through, otherwise you're pretty much dead. But she'll buff her, she'll give herself her own ult gauge. They all have a weakness to physical attacks, obviously. They all have about 150,000 health for EX3, around 8,000 to 9,000 attack, and then around 12,000 defense. I believe it's just kind of the same. Rimuru has 10,000 attack, but these two have 8,000, and they all have about 12,000 defense. So she'll give herself guard penetration, she'll buff her own light attack, and she'll keep buffing her own attack. But they won't really do much at the beginning. They will give themselves pierce resistance, so you can't use the light 2.0 team. Rimuru will debuff your green orbs, give everyone pierce resistance for 10 turns. He'll decrease your defense and decrease your ult damage after turn 5, or I guess after they attack through on turn 5. On turn 4, he will seal your attack and defense changing skills, so you need to be careful of any units that are in the Vanguard slot if you're planning to use their attack skill, attack changing skill for the next turn. Then you don't want to have them out, and then he'll just buff his own damage. And then Shuna doesn't have an ult, she doesn't ult at all. She debuffs orange orbs, I think, after turn 4, and she'll constantly be healing the entire enemy team. She'll buff everyone's attack, she'll heal, and she'll give her own attack. So essentially what this stage is kill everyone before you hit turn 5. Once you hit turn 5 and it goes through and they're still alive, Rimuru will ult you, you'll get super low. Shion will ult you, you'll die, and then Shuna will just do an AoE attack and then probably kill everyone else. So yeah, like I said, this was the team. Let's see if I can find it. I have a bunch of teams in here, but I tried a few teams. I tried something like that. It's a little jank after I mess with it a lot, but I tried doing something with the Summer Memories and Commander Force, but nothing really worked. The problem is this is a stage where you need to use AoE. Even if you use 2 single targets, I couldn't find a way to do enough damage, like to like focus on 2 different people to get their ults go off at the same time, especially with a team like this. So it didn't work. I would kill one of them, and then one of them would still be alive by turn 5, and you can't survive past that. So I also tried a team with Toa, for example, who buffs orange orbs, and again, the same problem kind of on her team. She doesn't have, there's not really any like, I mean, there's some physical, but also it gets hard because you can't stack as much damage as you would want. I'm sure you can do it some way with Toa, but I couldn't get it to work, and then I just moved on. I did try one with Guy, and that did okay. But the problem is I just couldn't do enough damage. Like I could do a lot of ults, but I couldn't stack enough damage even with certain buff, like the guy ult buff and then crit rate and stuff like that. Like it just didn't output enough damage. And then I tried this team, but I forgot Rain with single target, so that didn't work. And you could try my Shion's only level 84. You could try using her considering she has a lot of buffs. So this team could work, but the problem is that they're magic resistant, so you don't really want to use magic characters. So what are the teams that actually work? Well, you actually just saw one of them. Was it this one? I think it was this one. So I used this team with the Megumin Rimuru, and then we have Trainee and Geld, and then Guy for the ult buff, Shizue as our actual damage dealer, and Rimuru just here for the for his physical attack buff, and Luminous specifically here to give us the protection gauge for 5 points on the second turn. So shout out to Kamaz, because their video, they put one out about a few days ago actually, and I took a glance at it, and after doing some experimenting, I actually found that their strategy actually worked, because the problem is it's meant for burst down teams, but I've tried using burst down teams and I just can't get enough damage as much as I would want. So I ended up using their strategy, which I can't find. Did I just replace it? Oh no, it's here. So they use this team. I do have a video of this team, and I'll show it. I'll show it. It's essentially their run, and my run are essentially the same. But basically, what it revolves around is getting the AoE, so Luminous in this case, her ult, her EX ult, and then build up some points, stack some attack, and then you just obliterate all three of them at the same time. So we'll go this one first, and then I'll go through this one. It's essentially the same principle, and then I can maybe show like the water one if you guys want. But yeah, those are the teams that worked, and I guess let's just get right into it. Shout out to Kamaz again for their strategy. Alright, so we're gonna be starting off with this. I'll just play it now. Like I said, this is a team that Kamaz used, that I saw in their video, and I know I'm not like trying to take their strategy, but I tried using it after seeing their video, and I'll link their video in the description, and it works really well, and I think it's a great concept to work around, because I didn't think of it at first. So essentially what we do here, so we use Trainee to do the special orb change, swap Luminous in, and then we'll swap Rimuru in for Geld. And this turn, we're just going to clear this turn, we'll build up almost to a second one, get 58 skill points, and almost to 2 Velzar charges. And here's where the Luminous, or someone similar to that, who has that trait, comes into play. Because on the second turn, they'll give us 5 points, which will give us the second Velzar charge. So here, ideally, you want something where you can orb change with either Guy or Geld or something like that, where you only want to spend one skill that hasn't been used yet to orb change. So in this case, I got lucky with Guy, so I just swapped Geld in for Rimuru, pop these two. We're gonna listen to this, or I guess listen to it, but I think, drifting up for a second, I think they updated or maybe optimized Google Play games, because I don't think I've ever seen this in HD like quality before. It used to lag a lot when she came out, but we're gonna use the 2 Velzar. Obviously, you want to use it when Luminous is in the Vanguard, so she gets the attack stack. But here we're gonna pop this, and I actually tuned my my Guy to have less attack than my Luminous in this, because when you use Geld, you want to give all the blue orbs to Luminous, right? Who has his skill changes all blue orbs to the person with the highest attack. So you can just like take his weapon off or something. But yeah, so we have a basic Luminous ult, but we're going for the EX ult. So here is where you also need a little bit of luck, or you can just force it. This I got super unlucky, but here we're gonna pop the Velzard again, and I think here what I go for is I go for the Guy Orb change. I go for the Guy Orb change, and then I can squeeze in the whatchamacallit, the trainee orb change. So I'm gonna swap Guy out, squeeze in the orb change here, and then I can pop Geld's skill as well, which is really nice. So here, so if you do watch K-Maz's video, the way they use a lot more of Trainee's other skill, which just gives you 35% ult gauge to the person with the highest attack, aka Luminous. But here I felt it was just better to do the Geld skill, because I want to just, it for me, like the win, I spend less. I guess it you can go either way, I guess, because you'll just end up with the same result. But for me, I found it just safer. You can also kind of test it out, like select all 5 and see if you're gonna get it, and if not, you can just pop it if you have the skill points, or you know, if you do or you don't. But yeah, I just chose it to do this because it was just easier for me. But here we're gonna do it. We'll get another Velzard charge, and we're almost there. You could also just do this as well, do that, and then wait for this. If you don't have enough, then you just use Trainee skill. But here you see Shuna has been healing everyone. So look, we've done all this damage, quote unquote, but they're back to full health. Now they're debuffing orange orbs. They seal defense changing skills. So here I pop Trainee thing, get the EX ult. I can just swap her out now. I should have popped Luminous. That was the Velzard skill when Luminous was out. That was my bad. I completely forgot. And then I was like, yeah, I have to pop it. So no other choice. And then here, I was kind of debating, like, is it worth it? But it is. Like, you will just, because the skill point increase is so high, I just send this, and then send Guy obviously as the last attack. We'll get 193 skill points, which is actually like enough. You just need about 200 to 210. Like, that's like kind of reaching, like, that's like the maximum, I guess, for what you'll need for this stage. But here they seal all our skills, so you gotta have to be careful of that. They heal again, and here you see they're gonna ult, right? So you need to kill them now. So I'll swap Luminous in for Trainee, and then swap Rimuru in for the buff. So we'll pop the Velzard. If you have enough points, you can use Luminous's skill to get 2 charges, 3 charges if you have whatever. But here clearly I don't have enough, so I just pop the 2 here. And Rimuru's is actually a little bit better. This one is better for like crit resistance, but we're not at turn 8, or we're not at turn 9. So I just pop Rimuru's one. This will give us the crit rate, the ult buff, and then physical attack, and then decrease the resistance. So I'll send the 2 luminous orbs, and then we'll ult here. And then we wipe them out with 171,000 damage. So yeah, overall, that's pretty much how you do it. You just nuke them at turn 5 with like an AoE. Such a nice ult, by the way. I wish they didn't make her as gimmicky as she is. But anyway, see, like the 170,000, like, you just need something to do at least 150 something thousand to kill them all, and you're pretty much set. So I think how it's supposed to be is ideally you run the Trainee and the new Milim, and obviously like the RAMIRIS, and then maybe some like supporters or something, and you pretty much just keep building up your ult gauge or whatever, and then you can use like Shizue's weakness strike, and then Milim will constantly be changing the blue orbs to herself because she just changes all blue orbs to herself. She'll get her EX ult, you can use her buff, you can throw on some other things, and then you just nuke all of them away. But I don't have the Milim, and it gets really difficult if you don't have someone like that, because it's one of these, they, for some reason, make these stages where you only need the new units. So let's go check out the other one with Wind Shizue, in case you guys have that kind of team, if you don't specifically have these units. So yeah, let's go check that team out. Alright, so we're here with the Wind Shizue team, and it's literally the same thing. I just swapped the DPS unit, and then I also just swapped the protection unit. You want someone who can stack. You can try using Space Veldora. The only problem is that he buffs green orbs, and green orbs are nerfed the first like 4 turns. I don't know if you want to do. I don't think you can really do that. You can't use the light Shuna because they'll nerf Pierce power. You can use it for stun strike, I guess, but I don't know if they're not immune to stun, but there's no AoE, so they're all single target. What else is there? I guess you could maybe try and, like, you could use the water Milim. I just ended up using the wrong unit. For some reason I thought Rain was AoE, but she was single target, so imagine my surprise when I ulted with Rain and was like, why is there only one of them? And it was only the Shion. So surprisingly, one of the few times where you actually want an AoE, like an AoE character. You could use the Space Violet. Who else has AoE? The Hero and the Shizue both have, the ones we're about to use both have AoE. You could use the Diablo, the one that stacks the ult damage. I don't have him, but I'm sure you could use him and Rimuru and some sort of like the water Rimuru and figure something out. I think those units would work the best. I don't really think you can use anyone else. You can't use Dark Veldora either because I think, well, green orbs are just nerfed and they're magic resistant. And yeah, looks like you just can't really use any other team except like the new stacking ones, unfortunately. Sorry, I have the window pulled up on another tab, but yeah, let's just play this. Again, same concept. You just stack, or you get someone's ult, you stack, and then you just blow all your points and nuke them away. So here, I mean, the only reason I'm using the Megumin Rimuru is because he buffs the adventure tag and she's always on the adventure tag. But here we're gonna pop trainees special orb change, bring Shizue in, bring Rimuru in, you know the drill. So yeah, I just don't know why they make these beatdown battles so impossible to beat. Literally for new players, it's literally impossible. I don't know how you can beat it with the free-to-play Rimuru. I think it'd be impossible for you to do. But here we're gonna pop the skill and we're gonna listen to this because I haven't used I have not used this Megumin in a while. But here I'm gonna pop this and then pop Guy and then bring him in. And just in case, I swapped the trainee in case Rimuru had high attack, but he didn't. Yeah, I think they optimized Google Play Games because when I was watching these protection skills, like, it doesn't lag. Like before, that thing used to lag so bad whenever I used it. Even on my phone too, it would lag really bad. But here we do the same thing: pop Geld skill, get a lot of Shizue orbs. So here, during this run, I could have popped like Trainee's ability and then popped Shizue's skill more times. But I didn't because I was trying to be as conservative as I could with my points. And I couldn't find like a right chance to use it, I guess. Here I think I could have popped it. Because here I need to use Guy and then Trainee's thing, and then I was thinking of that, and then I honestly could have just used Trainee's skill and then Guy, and then I think I honestly would have been fine, but instead I went for this route where I used Guy and then Geld, a little bit more expensive and for no reason, but it's whatever. Like, hindsight's 2020. But yeah, essentially the whole point is you just want to build up as much damage. Like here, I just barely don't get it, so I have to use Geld's thing, which sucks. But that could have been fine. I could have gotten a wind attack buff if I used Trainee's skill, but I didn't. So here, like, it doesn't. You can just get the 5 orbs. Like, you still build a lot anyway. And then after this, want to pray for a little bit of RNG. So you get lucky. Here, I get semi. I will say I get semi lucky. Yeah, go heal, and then Shizue has her EX alt. So I'm like, just chuck her out of there after I pop this. I think I noticed for Rimuru Megumin, or something that deals with the ults instead of purely stats, is that you don't need to really pay attention to who's out in the Vanguard, because he'll just buff all ultimates, right? Instead of like specific units attack, which I think is a lot better, because you don't have to worry about management as much. But here I swap Rimuru out because I need that attack buff, and I don't want him to get debuffed. And I was kind of thinking, like, is it worth it to use someone else's skill to like give me more points? Am I gonna, is it cost efficient essentially? And it actually is. I was about to do this, but I figured I could pop the Guy, get 2 more orbs, and then that would boost me all the way up and also get me another stack. So I'm glad I did that, and we're at 218 points. Honestly, more than enough. But you can never have enough. So here, excuse me, we're just gonna swap Shizue in, slap on all the buffs, use the Rimuru Megumin ability, and then obliterate them all. So yeah, that's like pretty much it for the stage. I don't know how Inferno is yet. Hopefully, I mean, it's obviously gonna be like harder than this, but I hope they change it a little bit, because this is really tedious, and if I have to do the same thing again on turn 5, I don't know how I'm gonna feel. But here, yeah, you see there are no more buffs, and then we're just gonna send the Guy orbs, and Shizue will finish it. And I'm gonna go silent for this one, and then I'll meet you guys after the ult. $190,000, pretty good. I will say really quickly, I don't know why, but that ult looked so flashy, but maybe I didn't have the impact sounds high enough. But it had sounded like all of that had no impact. Like right here, where she's doing all the like slicing around and stuff. Like, I can just mute this. But like, it's just like all this movement, and it feels like it's doing nothing. But very dynamic though. But yeah, that's pretty much it. The stage is just very annoying. You can hear me turn my sound back on. But yeah, this stage is just annoying, and good luck to you if you don't have these characters. Like, if you don't have the new characters this stage, honestly, will be very tough. You can at least get her level 100, I guess, through just like parallel processing. I really just don't like how tough they make these stages for no reason. Like, I feel like we could have maybe toned the difficulty down. Like, I get it, it's extreme and inferno, but like, very clearly it's designed to want to use new units, but like, it's almost impossible for newer players to even clear it, even though I think this should be something that anyone can clear, honestly. Like, if it's for a free-to-play character, wouldn't you want the newer players to clear it so they can get it quicker? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not understanding, but yeah, that's pretty much it. This stage is difficult for no reason. If you guys haven't already, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button down below for more Flying Isekai Memories content and potentially other stuff in the future. Yeah, good luck to you on this stage. I also did my second set of tickets and I got nothing, which I shouldn't be surprised, but a little bit sad. But yeah, good luck to you guys on your tickets and summons and whatnot, and with clearing the stage, and we'll see if there is anything upcoming for the end of this week, because the note was talking about everything going up until the 4th. I think we should expect to see the new update like for the next week on the 5th, and then whatever will come out, the new character or whatever will come out on the 6th of this month, so Sunday. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Again, a little rambling at the end, but thank you all for watching, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace.